In a connected world, authenticity is essential. You can't get away with being untrue to yourself. At least you can't get away with it for very long. And the consequences can be severe if you're found out. So we're entering a world where transparency is important. And that comes into play with your personal brand, because when you're putting yourself out there, I think that there is somewhat of a tendency for people to want to sugarcoat the image or create their best selves. And to a certain extent, that's fine. That's what we should do. Everyone dresses up for job interviews. Everybody puts the best and strongest adjectives on their resume. But what I'm talking about is the fact that through our social identities, we need to throw in information about ourselves so that people begin to also get a sense of the real you.
People don't want to interact with an ad campaign. They want to interact with a personality. So when the web was started, you might remember it was all brochureware. You would go to a website and you pretty much read a brochure. What happened in Web 2.0, it's the idea of interactivity. So all the successful brands know you just can't tweet your press releases. You have to have a personality. If someone said they liked your soda, you reply and you say thank you. At the end of the day, your customer knows that you're trying to sell them something. So you have to be authentic, and you have to be aware that you're trying to really target a vastly diverse populace. So you have to be careful with how you're using your brand to shape a conversation.
Because if you know that there's a friend of yours who's tweeting about brands all the time, and it's just, because somebody's paying them, you stop paying attention to that person. And probably you stop paying attention to what they say in real life instead of just on Twitter, because we don't separate people that way. So I think that part of it is just your personal reputation of, are you a credible person or not, and are you hurting your personal credibility by doing something like that?
Just be honest and be real and work it into the storytelling. And because let's face it, that's what marketing is these days. It's content marketing, it's storytelling. It's not that day where you could push it into your audience and hope they had to listen. They don't. We all have choices, and so be real. It's not complicated. If you're real and honest, people are going to know it.
This is my prediction. We'll see if it comes true in a few years or not. But I believe that as brands start on the path of social media and all the social channels, the ones who don't understand the authenticity, they will be ignored. They will absolutely be ignored. And the ones that are real will be the ones that emerge. And I don't think we'll go back to old-fashioned messaging and pushing things, because nobody wants that anymore. They don't believe in it.
The reality is that social is about that three-dimensional conversation space. It's about you talking to your audience while your audience is talking to each other, and while your audience is talking to people that aren't in your audience. And that's the social space. And so it becomes easier to do that if you have a human voice going into that space, because it invariably is being permeated through a bunch of other human voices sharing it.